So thank you all for coming out. Yeah, we are here today to acknowledge someone who has been part of the Wallace State family since November 16, 2001. Just at 19 years. I think next week will be 19 years. Someone who has provided service to our beloved Wallace State and to the office of the President. Linda Wesley, who currently serves as Administrative Assistant to the President, helped raise over $11,000 to build this disc golf course. And today we want to honor your work. Ms. Wesley, your efforts have been amazing and we appreciate it. One thing I can say for certain, and two I know for sure, that your desire to make Wallace State a better place is very clear. At this time, I want to bring up Dr. Karlowicz to say a few words, and then we'll unveil this plaque here.
Good morning, everybody, and it's so good to see you all here. The sun is kind of bright.
It is.
So it's wonderful to have you here on this day where we have this tournament. That really was a vision that Linda had. She saw the impact of the tournament in downtown Coleman and the contributions that that disc golf course made to that area, and envisioned that we could have something similar here in the Hanceville community and certainly at Wallace State Community College. Linda is a mover and a shaker. She's quiet but determined, and she approached this golf course in the same way that she does every project that she manages at Wallace State, and that is eye for perfection, with an eye toward perfection and an eye toward the bottom line, because she's going to make sure we're going to save money on doing anything that we do. Linda, you're my plus one, and I very much appreciate the work that you've done at Wallace State with me, for this college, and with the attitude that you've always approached it, and that is to do what's best for the students and best for the college. And I just appreciate you, and I want to say thank you to Dr. Smith and Todd Abbott for identifying this as a means to honor you and to honor your contributions to the college for so many years. So congratulations, Linda Wesley.
Thank you.
Linda, we love you so much. Our campus won't be the same without you. But forever to be known as the Lions Lynx, we want to present this to you in your honor. In honor of Linda Wesley, Wallace State Community College's disc golf course, the Lions Lynx, was spearheaded by employee Linda Wesley as part of a Leadership Wallace State project. Linda's vision and vigorous efforts in partnership with Wallace State students, the City of Hanceville, Coleman County businesses, and private citizen sponsorships evolved into the first disc golf course located on an Alabama community college system. The course is the largest in the state and one of the largest in the Southeast. Wallace State dedicates the Lions Lynx to Linda Wesley for her leadership, dedication, and service to our institution. We thank you very much.
Thank y'all.
I don't know if y'all know or not, there was a lot more people besides me involved in this. And it was the Wallace State leadership team that come up with this idea, but I do know that with myself and some young students and a young man that designed the course, I'm certainly not the only one, but this is an honor. Thank you.
Welcome to the Lions Den 2020 here at Wallace State Community College in Hanceville, Alabama. I'm Andy Burns with Sulu Productions, here with Tailor Holley.
What up, boy?
What up, boy? Thank you to the sponsors that you can see on the screen. As always, can't do any of this without them. We are at Wallace State, as we mentioned before. Got a same course tournament, 2 rounds, same day. We're going to get it all in. And Taylor, just kind of walk us through here to start us off.
Looking like some beautiful fall weather. You got some familiar names here: Neal, Logan Fiske, Ben Page. Also got a couple of
Chris's.
What I would say newcomers with some Chris's, and Chris Pugh and Christian Camp. And here we go. Yep. Take it away, Andy.
Yeah, so hole 1, part 4. starting off with one of the easier holes relative to par. You see the 17th handicap. Averaging 3.41. Your main objective here is to just not throw it to the right where you can see the road. So road and over is going to be out of bounds. I don't know many players who are going to throw it past the basket, so that's not really anything to deal with off the tee box. But as you can see, it's very uphill, so your up shots are going to have to be dialed in for that distance control.
Yeah, it's been a few years since I played this course. But if I remember correctly, it definitely benefits big arms. The one thing you can't do is go OB. And nothing like Jared Neal leading off a tournament on a huge open hole with an OB. I mean, I would expect nothing less.
Yeah, and just he wanted to really get that start off.
Oh, yeah.
And Logan, we filmed a long time ago. I think like before any camera equipment was being used. But one thing you'll notice about him is that super hyzer release.
For sure. Been throwing roller here. Turned out pretty. Didn't quite stand up, but it'd be just fine again. Anywhere out in the field to the left is okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, I guess, besides obviously we just saw Jared go OB, your really only problem on this hole is worrying about that upshot, that basket being up the hill and so tight up next to that OB.
Shout out to Chris Pugh, one of the tournament directors. So kind of cool to have a open player as a TD. So definitely helpful on the card sometimes.
Yeah, so I say you never have to worry about a rule discrepancy on the card.
And Christian gonna be the lone out-of-state player here on this open lead card.
From Oxford, Mississippi.
So Jared right off the bat here with kind of an awkward little upshot.
Settle. And I'm guessing that is also OB.
That is correct.
Wow. Yeah, beautiful release too. I thought it was going to be great, but fall time weather, grass is a little more dead. Definitely going to get a little more slide action than what you're used to. Maybe during like the summertime when the grass is a little thicker and more full of life. So.
Yeah, you can see here just how steep that little shot is. Two good shots there back to back.
Yeah, and all you're asking for with your disc here is just don't hit something stupid and stand up, right? Like just lay flat. Oof. Good run.
Yeah, the Nova is not going to slide too far.
It's not rolling, yeah. We're going to get a jump putt from Logan. Interesting choice.
Yeah. Probably takes out the out of bounds play.
Good call. Maybe Jared for a bogey here.
That's a kind of a death putt there to start off, especially after 2 OB strokes.
Yeah, a hole where you only throw the disc 3 times and you take a 5. It's good to see Logan back in action. For any of you that don't know, Logan, I don't remember exactly what year, but actually won a junior world title. And then he played a little bit more, went off to college, took basically a couple years off to kind of handle school and do whatnots, and now kind of back playing pretty regularly, especially up in the North Alabama scene. So really nice to see Logan out.
You can also see just a really nice morning to get things started off.
Beautiful.
And yeah, there you go. You said it, Jared, with the 5. An unusual 3-throw 5, but going to be 1 over. Going into hole 2. This hole, 7th hardest hole of the day. I think the difficulty here is actually to get it far enough. You want to throw it over this culvert, but too much hyzer and you're more than likely going to land in it, because it does kind of go at an angle where your right-handed players are the disc is just going to fly to. So something to look for here.
Yeah, and a couple of these guys have a big enough arm that if they turn this disc over enough with the elevation change,
right,
they could easily throw it out of the back. So there's a good looking hyzer there from Logan. Great shot. Going to be stuck behind that tree, but that's what you're looking for there, because you're right. It's real easy to get this with this tree line on the right, get your disc nose up and on hyzer and land in the culvert.
There you go.
Yep.
Just that anti-release, making it S out some, just a little too far.
It's trouble too. Ooh.
Little
Cut through it.
half pipe action.
This looks good. Oof. Oh, wow. Way shorter than I thought. Jared probably throwing fairway driver here.
Probably putter.
On a huge hyzer. Yeah, kind of hard to zero in on that when somebody throws it to the moon and back. Great shot.
He came back.
Yeah. And back was an important part of that.
Yeah, I think the height is such an important part on that tee shot too. If you're gonna get it up there, you gotta really rip it.
Good touch on that up shot.
Yeah, smart play. So Ben here gonna look for some highlight action after taking the OB.
Just a little short on the commitment there.
Yeah, and he did have that tree right there on his right side, so maybe a little hard to give it a super good run. Christian did stay out, wasn't he?
Yeah, he got inbounds. Hey-oh, that's a 2.
Yes, it is. Great putt to start off.
As we like to call it, the lone deuce. Oh, excuse me.
Could be.
Could be the lone deuce, but not quite there yet. Yeah.
Logan said, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Let's all back up for just a second.
Jared might have something to say about that too.
Well, sorry. I was too busy thinking about Jared's out of bounds to remember that Jared was inbounds and by the basket. Yeah, boy. We're just going to call that dusting off a little rust on the commentating, and we're going to move on from it. Maybe a bogey for Mr. Page.
Yep.
And should be a little tap in here.
Yep.
Very nice.
Can't ever take them for granted.
Nope. Hey, I missed one today. Playing
hate to see it.
a little locally. It happens, man. It happens to the best of us.
It does.
Oh, man. I love this hole. Hole 3, playing as the 5th hardest hole on the day. 327 feet. You're going to see it work downhill towards the end of this hole. Basket is going to be off of this ledge here. So you're going to see a lot of guys probably try to land more on the upper tier. Obviously that leaves a downhill putt, but the last thing you want to do is cut it in this hillside, roll down the hill into the OB culvert, I guess as you would also call that. So very cool hole. Rewarded for a straight flying, flat landing disc here. Pretty common miss, I think, there from Logan. You're going to see a lot of guys land again in that area. A hole that a lot of guys are going to be just fine taking a 3 on. But definitely tuable with the right landing, and that's trouble.
Yeah.
And I'd like to say so far, you know, viewers at home, you see there's plenty of OB on this course to get you in trouble. Yeah, I mean, we've seen an OB shot on every hole. That might go in. Oh, my goodness. Wow. And that was such a beautiful camera angle to watch that disc.
Yes, it was.
Jeez.
My gosh. You will see that disc quite a bit from Mr. Neal. That is his Cenas. That is a definite go-to off the tee for him. Chris as well with a great shot.
Settle. Very nice.
Yeah, you can see the action the disc took there once it landed, so that's something you gotta worry about, I guess.
And Ben going with the high hyzer. This needs to get up. Settle.
Nope. A little too risky, or pulled it a little too much.
Yeah, and I just don't like, I don't like that play, because even if that comes back in, oh, what a putt. Hello. Let's go. 2 in a
Christian
row.
bringing the putting fire already.
Hello, let's go 2 in a row. Man, I was on a rhyming spree there. Unintentional.
The rest is off.
Back in full force.
Mm.
Settle.
Slow start here for Ben, but not too worried about that. He's a very solid player, so he's going to get it in check, I'm sure.
Yep. Smart play there from Logan. I like it.
Yes. Oh.
He, just burying the disc, didn't want to run the putt, and then unfortunately there, with the kick out.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many. You mentioned he is back in the game. We're happy to see it. I'm not sure how many tournaments he's played though. So
only a couple.
Yeah, coming off of a long break like that, you may not want to. I mean, it's not smart to take putts that you're just not confident in. There you go. Kind of all over the place here through the first 3 holes. You can see their scores are a resemblance of that. But going into hole 4, 333 feet. This one's averaging 2.68, so a hole you want to get your birdie on. These light poles kind of in the way. It shouldn't be too much. The main concern here is letting it hyzer too early, skipping into the road, or just going straight into it off the bat. So a controlled hyzer here is the play.
That's correct. That's pretty. Yep.
Yeah.
More than fine with that. And yeah, I mean, you definitely would love for a flat shot to just barely be turning at the very end of its flight and laying into this grass, just like Jared's did. Man,
I think that was, yeah, I think that would have definitely kind of shimmied its way down to the basket.
Little dead tree. A little skip. Oh yeah.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
Good looking shot. Touch short. Gives him a look.
Yeah.
Is the DZ discs, does that stand for drop zone discs?
Maybe. I don't know.
I really don't know.
Even thought about it, didn't you? That's got to get down. You hear Ben saying that. Whew, just enough. Yeah, that's a couple shots now that he's either fluffed or just rolled over a little too much. So. Good little tester putt here. I think it's one you definitely run. You just got to make sure you keep low.
Yeah, I think so. It's very similar to the last one, but
not quite so much punishment.
Yeah.
Behind the basket with the elevation change.
He did what you said. Just keep it low.
Bad thing there is that's like everything against what you really tell yourself, right? It's like you can't ever make a putt that's too low. But
that is true.
Very nice.
Good hit.
I was just thinking, I think what has transpired over the last 4 holes here with Jared specifically is a testament to the type of player that he is, right? It's like nothing's going to change the way he plays. He's going to continue to be aggressive because he goes OB twice on the first hole, takes the bogey, but then comes back with just 3 fantastic shots.
Yes.
Doesn't let the first hole deter anything he's done, and he's come back to 2 down after a bogey start. So great comeback so far. There you see a couple of the birdies. Obviously, Christian leading the pack at 3 down, playing very well. So
yeah, that takes us to hole 5, 309 feet, playing as the 3rd hardest hole of the round. I think just the play here is the higher hyzer, spiking in towards kind of this tree here, as you can see on the right, just to kind of land a little short of the road. You get put too much on it, and those parking spaces really come into play. So there's some danger in doing that.
So I've never actually played this location. The one time I did play here, it was in, I think, what they call the par 4 location, which is farther down that chute right there. And you see all types of people taking crazy shots over the cornfield and everything. So To me, tough for the two locations, and the handicap shows it obviously, because you really need to go for this. Versus when it's in the par 4 position, you could play out left a little more, play a lot safer.
Yeah, I think this is a pretty good hole. Good little design, hard par 3.
Yep. Especially the way that parking lot, if you look, pinches in. You either got to commit to the layup, or you've got to really commit to going all the way to this basket, because that corner right there, whew, Logan,
what a shot!
flew it. That can definitely get you. It just needs to sit. Oh yeah, well, short playing the layup shot.
Yeah, and that's not a bad idea at all, especially after seeing how it fared for the field.
Yeah, and if you're not a comfortable, 320 to 30 foot forehand player, woo, very nice.
Ben Page with the forehand.
Yeah, I know. Then the layup is definitely your shot here. Give yourself a little jump run and move on. Down. Oh, oh, what a run. Bazinga.
He's heating up.
Bazinga.
You know what that was?
So I think if my math doesn't do me wrong, Jared has thrown less shots than anyone else on the card so far.
Yeah.
He's just taken the most OBs of anybody on the card.
Good run there from Christian, and that's the first one he's missed outside of 60.
Yeah, he's canning them holes 2 and 3, huge putts. Good birdie there from Ben, and good forehand. Good to see Ben dialing a forehand in.
He might have mentioned that you might have said something about him throwing a forehand, actually.
There was a time when Ben Page wouldn't have thrown a forehand, so
What was that, bro?
he's been working on his game.
Yeah, it's scary when somebody throws such a good backhand starts to develop that forehand.
Well, that's like Jared. I mean, obviously he threw it out of bounds there, but been really working on a good controlled forehand. And he's seen a lot of improvement in that area of his game. So.
No. If I miss that, it's not your fault. If I miss that, I putted already.
So Chris going to take his drop-in par. And there you see it, Logan.
Yep.
Logan and Christian.
Absolutely.
Both 3-unders, so
Yeah.
everybody in the mix. Remember this one?
I do remember this one. Playing the easiest hole on the course for pretty good reason. I mean, as long as you miss the pavilion right off the tee box, you're in pretty good shape. You're just throwing something controlled and straight to the bottom of this hill. You've got a couple of different ways you can attack the basket here. Even if you get too far left, there's a left gap from where the camera's going, straight gap here, and a right gap. So you just want to get as much controlled straight distance as you can get, and you're just going to be looking at a jump putt. What you'll see from a lot of guys too is just crash into the trees all the way up the hill and just fly it all the way to the basket here.
Yeah, it looks like that's what Logan's doing here. Maybe a little too much turn on it, or could be just playing for that spot.
I think you're right. I think he turned it a little more than he wanted to. But again, anywhere in that area, if you're crashing into those trees.
That looks pretty good if it'll just miss him. Not quite.
Yeah, gonna be tough. Oh wow, went a lot backwards.
I'm pretty sure that is.
It's casual, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I think it's casual.
There is a Mando on the right side here, but I think it's a little. Oh, that almost hit the pavilion.
Jeez. Yeah, I think that man does over there to prevent people from throwing like a skip shot all over the road, right?
Yeah, it's fairly hard to miss. I mean, I guess if you're going for the gut shot, it's in play. Most players, as you can see, are going to elect for this just big flex.
Those trees are being stingy.
Yeah.
Here's one shot at the gap.
It's pretty.
Come out. Ooh. Very nice.
Yeah, should have a very easy upper.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Nice soft coating of leaves here in this green, so disc should land pretty softly. That's on a pretty line. Great shot. Logan might try to run this. A little low.
Yeah, definitely sets up for a good little run opportunity being sloped up like that. Chris might have a little bit.
That was a good up from there.
Yeah, and you see why this hole, playing the easiest hole in the course, because those guys not having any trouble with their up shots.
Yeah.
Getting in this basket for 5 pretty good birdie looks here. If Logan's putting first and that's the longest birdie look,
Seriously.
we're all in good shape.
Good solid putt there.
Skirting that rim.
It's always hot down here.
Lots of leaves.
Crunch, 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 crunch.
So through 6 holes here, you've got 2 par 4s under your belt. Fairly easy ones at that, both coming in. I think the easiest hole and the 3rd easiest hole. What are you kind of thinking at this point? Like, regardless of how you're shooting, got some easy ones out of the way. I really need to get focused, or is it a shot by shot mentality like most people say they try to be?
I think you've had some open holes, you got your arm loose, you know what I mean? So now it's just time to dial it in. You've got some holes coming up that are attackable here. Playing a little more woods golf for a couple holes, but nothing long or crazy or bomber. So get ready to get it dialed in and get after it.
Yeah. As you can see, this hole is, well, Logan's taking a different approach, kind of the right side there, but the play here is just straight up the gut. Landed a little short of the basket and let it slide up to it.
Yeah.
Oh man, what a pretty little putter shot.
Mm-hmm.
Just leaking out a little right. Gonna be 20 foot left for bird.
Yeah, very well done.
Yep, released that on a hyzer and came out a little early. And I believe he caught that first tree off the tee box there. So
It didn't look like he quite followed through with it.
pretty.
Yeah. Just a little closer.
Let's have a putting contest.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember, this area down in here is always kind of murky. Some tough little sloppy footing.
Very well played.
Mm-hmm.
Nicely judged.
Looks like he threw a tactic. Good little Discmania upshot disc.
Speaking of Discmania, Andy, a little side note real quick. Did you see the Simon Lizotte disc that sold for $2,750 the other day?
I sure did. Crazy.
And then the story behind it was even crazier.
Oh no.
Jared.
Enlighten the story though for those who
Yes.
did not hear that.
So Simon, they sold a fundraiser disc for $2,750. The guy asked for Simon to sign it in a silver or white pen. Simon went and bought one. He tested the pen, was on another disc, was videoing all this in his car, and went to go pull the pen apart to sign the actual disc, and ink came out and went everywhere all over the disc. And you know Simon's very candid, and you could see the distraughtness on his face. Long story short, him and the guy ended up FaceTiming together. Simon's his favorite disc golfer. Dude said it wasn't a big deal. He was just glad to be donating the money to kids and growing the sport. Dude was a super good sport about it. And so it just made a whole cool YouTube video of, just Simon being Simon, man. So it's always great seeing guys grow the sport.
Well, honestly, that makes it a cooler.
Yeah, it's like that disc now has these little spots on it.
Yeah.
Like definitely one of a kind. So pretty sweet.
Yeah, really cool.
Yep.
Here's hole 8, 348 feet. 2.68 average. So most players throwing a hyzer here just to get around the trees that we just flew past. You can see all the leaves, so sometimes you get a skip, sometimes you dig. Kind of want to be on point with your distance here.
You dig?
You dig? Ben actually taking the laser approach.
Flirting with it. Ooh.
Just not quite the distance to get past that.
Yep.
I mean, it is 348 feet, so a hyzer the whole way is a pretty big shot.
Yep. It's slightly downhill, I think, which helps these guys a little, but yeah. And you're over a parking lot, so I mean, you've got a challenge in a B area the whole way. And you're right, you can't be short. Yeah, it's okay. As long as it doesn't hit the curb, it's just flare skip.
Just short there with the tree.
Yep. Good shot.
If it misses that tree, he's 15 feet, 20 feet.
That looks to be on a really good line.
Yeah, it does.
I like that. Very nice.
Beautiful. Yep.
Just committed to being out over the parking lot. Got
Is that a
far.
Hook Lab?
Yeah. Pretty.
Strong side miss. At least gave it an effort.
Hey-o.
Let's go. Around the limb.
Good to see Ben getting fired up.
What a putt, dude. That's a great shot.
Yeah, you hear him talking about it. He said, wow, that thing had to go around the limb and everything.
Great
Nice.
putt. Can't get big putted
Yep.
after that.
We've seen some pretty good putting so far.
Man, yeah.
A couple of shorter misses on some chain outs, but everything else has been pretty locked in from this card.
Yeah, and if you're Chris, you really don't want to miss this putt now.
Oh, elevator going down. Yeah, I don't know if there's a lot of worse things in disc golf than being like one of the closer guys to the basket and guys behind you have made huge putts and then you miss yours.
Solid putt. I really didn't have a good feeling about that in the moment because I was like, oh no. I think Christian's going to be fine here.
Yeah, I think he'll be okay. Keeping the hot start going, keeping the one-stroke lead, but this group has definitely tightened up
Yes.
over the last 3 or 4 holes. So score separation is down to 2 strokes. As at one point we had it as big as 4 strokes.
So here's hole 9, second hardest hole of the day, and there's the Mando that normally is in play there is actually not in play. So most players are going to take the backhand just through the trees. So this route we're taking here with the drone is your normal Mando route. Play it safe, get around, right side of the culvert. Most players are going to take the straight line hyzer approach over the blue tee box. I think Ben's taking this here, yeah. It just brings a lot more foliage
Oh yeah, okay.
into play.
That's interesting. Yeah, I've not seen anybody take this because you're right. There's always been a Mando.
I'd say that's about perfect, Ben.
Pretty good looking shot there. You really got to stay kind of the right or finish left if you want to miss some of the bushes that are down that way.
We'll come back.
That there should be ideal taking that route. So
Nice.
It's on the caddy book. It's in the caddy book. Jared has to play Mando.
Yes, Jared.
Oh, I'm gonna get it. Oh yeah.
oh, that was close to hitting that pole.
Wow.
That's good enough. I thought I drilled the pole.
Loving the audio right now.
Get up.
Nope, just tickle that limb.
Yeah.
Tickle, tickle. And Andy, I'm assuming, again, because now I haven't seen people go this back route, the approach shot is easier from that side, because you would think a lot of these guys have bigger form. Playing a big flex out over the left would be just fine, but I'm guessing the approach shot maybe from over here is a little easier. Oh.
A little bad footing there, yeah.
Yeah, slipped on that punch.
You know, it's a good thought. And I didn't play it, so
Right.
and I also am a lefty, so I would want to take the left side anyway.
Sure.
But I feel like the left side is easier upshot.
I mean, it looks more open, but
Yeah.
I guess you can take off maybe more distance for the hole.
I think the most enticing part about playing the backhand. Ooh, as Jared. Might have come close to the road there.
I think he's in the road.
I think it's not having to worry about being left of the culvert because that's out of bounds.
Oh, okay. That does make sense. And
Yeah.
left of the culvert being out of bounds, obviously.
But for
makes
the ones
this-
who have the forehand, I was pretty shocked. Now the road to the right is also out of bounds.
Yep.
Is this off Logan? No, he just hit
Yeah,
that.
this is where he slipped, and this is where he got to after he slipped on the punch draw.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's going to be forced to settle for the par.
Not bad though. Second hardest hole, take your par. Be happy with that.
Yeah, I think what we'll see here, is not probably a lot of bogeys, but just not a lot of birdie opportunities. Birdies are probably pretty hard to come by. I mean, you see these guys that are having birdie looks, but they're outside the circle.
That's a great point.
Birdie looks, so tough to get it up there. And if this round has told us anything, Jared is going to only throw 3 strokes on this hole and probably take a 4 here. Yep. Once again, throwing less strokes than everybody, but making the same score.
I was just looking it up while Chris putts. Hopefully I'm not messing him up. Post round here. Only four birdies. Counting this one from Chris. On the round, so
Gotcha.
you are correct. Not many.
Yeah, I mean, if there's only 4 birdies and your scoring average was only 4.16, I mean, there weren't a whole lot of bogeys either, but just a lot of pars. And you can see that from this card here. 4 out of the 5 guys taking the par. Chris tying things up there with Christian after the 9th hole.
Yep. And as kind of slow as Ben kind of started, had some bad things going his way.
Yep.
He's right there in the mix, 2 strokes back. It's been a good front 9, some big putts, a couple of Sobler replays.
Jared with 4 OBs and 1 off the lead. I mean, you got to feel good about that, right?
If that doesn't explain Jared's disc golf, I don't know what does.
That's it.
But shout out to sponsors again, Wallace State for hosting a great tournament layout. So be looking for the back 10, and we'll see you next time.
Yep.